Hey, what is up, guys? I am Hippie, and I want to welcome you back to a brand new Minecraft creative build slash Spirited Life video on the Spirited Life server. So we got a build today, and this is a pretty exciting build for me because it's Bree's first build with me. So she got her builder rank a little while ago, but we had to take a big break from the server due to Christmas and the holidays and stuff like that. So she's finally getting around to doing a build with me, and I'm finally getting back into building on here. So we got this build here that was abandoned by another builder, and basically the only note that we had was you can tear anything down you want and start fresh. There was no reference point or anything, and so Bree wanted to do a cafe. In this building was like an assurance office and some other buildings, and so we definitely needed to switch that up. So we tore it all down, gutted the building, and then we started out with me just kind of, I guess, filming this little part here and I guess redoing the building to fit what we wanted instead, right? So what were you thinking? Were you prepared? Were you excited for?
I was nervous. I'm always usually nervous when I build on the server because I'm like, oh, there's managers, people who thoroughly check my buildings, and so it was scary. But in the long run, it was totally worth it.
Yeah, I was excited for it. Basically what I did is I kind of, this whole build, I helped her a tiny bit with like just recreating things, but basically I just let her design everything and I just kind of copied things around. So we added one big open screen door right here that I'm putting in place now. And then we're going to have another smaller actual entrance door in the front down there. And then we're going to have like a little outdoor patio type place up on that top section up there. So I'm just getting everything in place, making sure everything's even. And there will be some changes to the outside of this after. So that does get changed around. But yeah, she was just basically helping me film this part. And then we got inside, and then I just basically let her go to town and go crazy with builds. And then kind of copied some of it and helped her like replicate it and stuff like that. But we came up with an idea, right? It was an American tourist or American immigrant, American immigrant who set up a cafe slash coffee shop in Japan, or China, where, even if I don't even know where this place takes place, but Japan, there you go. So it's kind of like has some themes of an American cafe.
What was his name? It wasn't Carlos because we changed it.
Yeah, I can't remember what we changed it to. I don't even know if we ever even changed it. But so we came inside after, and I built some little sturdy things and just lit the place up. And one thing I knew needed to happen is we needed to switch these windows out and make them feel a bit more, I guess, cafe and warm, and that's exactly what we did. And then, while I was doing that, Bree started getting ready, mapping out where we were going to put the kitchen and the thing. Yeah, we have both footage. So we have Bree's footage and my footage. And then so she was talking about she wanted the second floor and like a little dining area up here.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
what I was
we
motioning
added them in.
right there.
Yeah.
I was like, up here.
Up here. We will do it here. And then she added like a little like area, like a little window area in there. And we just kind of started getting like the main rough area out. And that's when you started like picking up this, I guess, red theme. You first started out, you were trying some other woods. But then eventually you liked the look of this nether, I guess. And then that just kind of ended up being the theme.
Right there, I imagine I said, ooh.
Yeah, I think you may have actually said that. I think you're like, oh. And so
I really like the red stair texture.
I do too. I use it in a lot of my builds, but I use it in a lot of bathrooms. This is the first time I've used it for actual like furniture and stuff. But it does look super, super fancy, and that's exactly what we wanted from this build. And I think it worked out pretty good in the long run. So I'm glad we went with this wood. You kept worrying if it was going to be too pink, which you can see later on. But I think it flowed really, really well together, and we just ended up using it and adapting it into the story of the place, and that's why the owner of this place named it Love at First Sight Cafe. So when he came over to Japan as an American immigrant, he bought this small little building and fell in love with it immediately. So it was love at first sight. While she was working on that stuff, I was putting in some structure and some support beams and stuff like that, which we later used to help cordon off certain areas. But that's when I really noticed that the building was a bit off-center. And so what I did is I came back through and I basically made the window one bigger, and I made the door 2x2 instead, and then just added a little bit of support in there. And this is when you're having to come look at the red and stuff, and I really liked it, and we decided just to go with the red, and I put in a giant red carpet and some stuff like that.
At first we were gonna like make a cozy, like laid back
Right.
like play a cafe, but then we started making it really fancy.
Yeah. So this is one thing that I really like that you have in, I guess, your build style or your build. I don't know what you want to call them. I have this, like, I call it just
Your
like my
jig.
Yeah, but you use this little table design, table and chairs, and the front of the area was a little bit plain, and I couldn't really think what to put in there, and it wasn't really an area that you could put a dining room. And I think of all these type of cafes and restaurants and how they always have a giant fish tank in the back, and so I put one of those in there, and I went over, and that's when I saw Bree's like table and chair design, and I was like, this place is gonna look really fancy and really nice. So we just decided to start replicating the tables and chairs all over the building. Yeah, you're like, is this too high? I'm like, let me check, and then I just stood next to it. I'm like, nope, this is perfect.
Then we changed that,
yeah,
so we can put food on it.
Yeah, because we've been playing on your brother's server a bit. And you've been experimenting with player heads.
Tons.
And there's so many. You found a website that just has hundreds and hundreds of heads from all different types of things, from food and whatever. And so
I love
we've
that
really been putting it in there more. Yeah, and so that's when we were like thinking about what we wanted to build for your first build, where we knew we needed to use something with heads. So this is when we're starting to get the kitchen back in place and figure out what we want, but we immediately noticed it was super dark, and so we went with this design. The fences and the beacons, which they do get changed a bit. Yeah, everything got changed around a bit, including this part here. I noticed that the edge of the balcony looked a little too squared for some reason.
I didn't notice that you did that.
Yeah, so I popped those and I put stairs in there to make it look a little bit smoother and a little bit more decorated. And I used one of these designs that you used in one of the builds in Port Haven, which is the cactus in a flower pot with an acacia on top. And I wanted to put some more plants in here, but I couldn't really figure out what I wanted.
Yeah,
I knew I wanted sugarcane. Yeah, so eventually I ended up having to put water hidden underneath the wall and put it in there. So this is when you went and you started collecting some food items and stuff like that, and you're like looking around, seeing what would work. You already got all the muffins and cakes inside, and you start working on the actual kitchen area, right?
Yep.
And you went with these, like, I guess long drawer design for the actual main like preparation or prepared area, and then you start adding in this fireplace, which actually I think turned out really amazing. This is one of my favorite parts of the kitchen, and I didn't even see it when we were building it. I seen it just now when we were editing it over, and it just looks it looks a lot like a real fireplace, and I like that. Or not a fireplace, like a brick stove. So I found this in my inventory. I just had the head for the cat bus in my inventory for some reason. You're like, punch, and there it is. It's the cat bus face. So that's there for some reason. I don't know, but yeah. So I moved upstairs and basically replicated Bree's designs for the tables and such. And I wanted to do some fancy lighting, but in the end, it just didn't fit the theme. So we took it down, and I went with the normal lighting to match the bottom, and grabbed some carpet and threw them on down in the upstairs just to kind of make it all fit together. And in the end, I think it looked amazing. So I was really excited about that. And then this is basically where you're finishing up the, I guess, kitchen area, and you're thinking, you said, like, what extra
put an
stuff.
anvil in pot, and I was like, oh,
yeah. For some reason, I mixed up an anvil and a hopper, and you're like, you mean a hopper? I was like, oh yeah, one of those. So you just put some pots and stuff up there and worked out a little design and figured it out. So what did you think, though? Because you had to do a lot of testing and a lot of experimenting. Was it fun?
It was fun because It felt like a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
Kind of, but now I'm used to it. It's fun. Yeah. After I got really accepted, I was like...
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I decided that this place needed a custom banner. And so I went and made the heart banner. And this is basically the final result. Bree running over in shaders, and it looks freaking amazing in shaders. This is the first time I'm seeing it in shaders. So you see the lights changed a little bit to a bit of a more wood warm color, and I really like that. That fit really well. And then upstairs she put some more baked goods and stuff like that. But that's mainly it for Bree's first build. Let us know if you want to see some more of these. That's gonna do it though for now. I have been Hippie, and I'll see you guys next time.